Hey guys, welcome back to our short series on ENTTEC DMXIS and how to get started programming in it. I'm David Henry from LearnStageLighting.com, and if you haven't caught the previous few videos to this, I encourage you to check out the YouTube playlist that this is in about beginning with ENTTEC DMXIS so that you can catch up with us and be on track and not be confused by where we are, because this is the third video where we're going to program presets and banks. So the first thing we're going to do is go over here to DMX's preset manager. And this is where we set up our banks and presets. Now, as I mentioned before, DMXIS is really designed for bands and designed for music. And that's how the sorting is of the presets in banks, which is like your cues or scenes or playbacks in another lighting console. And if you're a lighting professional out there, I am a lighting designer, and I sort of took some liberties there, took some things out of context. So just the point is, like on other consoles, you got faders, cues, etc. Many of them use different names to mean a look of light on the stage, and that's what presets are. Now, banks are going to be your songs. So the first thing we're going to do is create a bank, call it song 1, and inside of banks comes presets. So if you've dealt with other lighting consoles before, a bank is like a cue list and the preset is like a cue. So I've got this song, and then inside of it, we'll create a new preset called intro. We'll click on that to load it. Then we click the preset button, manager button again, to come back over here and play with our 4 bars. So we'll bring up the dimmer to full. You may have seen there that I double clicked on that first 4 bars dimmer channel, and it brought up the other dimmer channels, all the other dimmer channels in DMXIS. Then we've got our red, so we'll bring up red. Why not? Of all the 4 lights, and that's going to be our intro. So what we got to do is go back to the preset manager. We got to press overwrite here to save the preset with the settings we just made. Now the cool thing about this is that may have seemed like we did double work, right? We could have brought the lights up, then come over here and created the preset, and they would have been up in red. But I like to do it this way because now when I create a new preset, we'll call it verse, hop over there, it's kept everything that I had up when I created the preset. So everything that was in that intro is now in here in this verse preset. So what we want to do next is now, let's say for the verse, we're going to bring down our red. We'll pop in our blue to 50%. We'll hit overwrite. That saves it for us. And so we click right there because my monitor here is not a touch screen. And so pressing it does absolutely nothing, but clicking does work. And so that is how you create banks and presets. So I'm going to just create a second bank. We'll call it song 2. And then what I want to do here is show you guys the sorting of banks and presets, right? Because we just created a couple presets in our first bank, and then we created a second bank. And at the time of this writing, the bank preset sorting is a little funny, but it's I'm in DMXIS 1.4.3, so we'll talk about that. And in version 1.5, which is out as a beta as I record this, this is fixed. So to do presets, we click this sort button, make sure it's depressed. It doesn't look happy at all. And we'll click the down arrow, and you can see it sorted. The intro preset moved down. Simple enough, right? On the bank side of life, it unfortunately is not that easy. They don't sort with the sort button. So what you got to do is you've got to click rename, and it's going to be alphabetical. Now, like I said, this is fixed in version 1.5 in the beta, so hopefully by the time you're watching this, that version of DMXIS is out, and you don't have to do this. But if you do, I'd just type, say, AA Song 1, rename Song 2 as AA Song 2, actually, and then I want to really rename Song 1 as BB Song 1 so that you can see when it sorts. So you see, it still didn't sort, even though I told you it's alphabetical, because it only sorts on relaunch. So I closed it. We're going to reopen it once I can find the icon. Go to our preset manager, and you can see it's resorted once I restarted the program. So that's a little bug that's in here. Don't let that deter you, because it's really a great, solid piece of software, and they're fixing that in the next version. Another thing I want to highlight here before we get too far is this fade to next. And that's going to be the time that the lighting scenes fade between each other. And so you want to set this for every scene. It's going to be the fade out, as it would be called. It'd be after the scene, fade to next. And you want to set this based on the music and based on your songs and what you want the lights to do. So if it's a slow song, you might want a 3-4 second fade or even longer. Whereas if it's really rocking and you're going from the verse to the chorus and you want to make a big impact, you may want that to be instant or very fast. And so play with that, see how that works for you and what you want to do as you kind of feel out your music and what you want for that. So that's what that knob does. Very important, because you need a way to be able to fade, because you don't want all of your changes to be cuts, because that just isn't any fun. You know, it's a lot more fun to, on a slow song, be able to have that fade, and then you have that much stronger and less distracting of a light show, which really draws people in. And so that's our goal. And in our next video, I'm going to go over the effects and oscillator that DMXIS has and show you how you can create some really cool stuff, some really cool movements and chases in your lighting with these functions. I'll see you guys over there.